Hello everyone, my name is Jordan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I have bought physically so far in 2022. It is currently May 21st and I have 15 books to show you here, which honestly I'm pretty proud of that number. I've only bought 15 physical books this year. I've bought a few more ebooks, I think maybe about 15 as well. I'm pretty proud of the fact that I haven't bought that many books, even though I wish I could buy more, because I love just having a million books on my TBR, just so many options available to me. I like that, but then I want to read them all at once. I think this is a nice balance for now. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. I definitely have some that I want to order later tonight, but as for now, these are the books that I've acquired so far in 2022. So the first two books are the second and third book in a series, and I have read them both at this point. That would be God's Grave and Dark Dawn, both by J. Kristoff. These are the second and third books in the Nevernight Chronicle. The Nevernight Chronicle I read at the end of last year, and it was one of my favorite books of 2021, so I absolutely had to get my hands on the second two. If you don't know what Nevernight is about, it follows our main character, Mia Corvier, who her family has been murdered, executed by these three men who are now in power, and she wants revenge. So she travels to this notorious school for assassins, this notorious church that trains people into these infamous killers. There she joins this school where she takes part in this competition to become a blade of the church. It's all about Mia's journey, discovering herself, dealing with the loss of her family, working through assassin school. I really enjoyed it. The first book has so many tropes that I love dearly. School setting, a lot of friendship, and a competition aspect. The assassin trope is also becoming intriguing to me as I've been reading more and more assassin novels lately. But yes, I purchased God's Grave and Dark Dawn to complete the series, which I have done at this point, and I really enjoyed it. Nevernight is still my favorite in the series, but these two were fairly good reads. The next book I purchased this year was Dune by Frank Herbert. I definitely fell into the hype surrounding the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I want to read this and then see the movie. To be fair, I don't really know the plot of this book at all. My vague recollection is that this family owns or is in control and power of this area or this planet where this notorious drug, spice, I assume it's like a drug, extends life, consciousness, makes you awesome. It's really cool, and I think it has to deal with the repercussions of that because, you know, if you're gonna own or be in control of this substance, there's going to be people who want some of that substance, who want that power, who are going to attack you, infiltrate you, betray you. I'm really excited to actually get into some of the more classic sci-fi. I honestly haven't read too much sci-fi, but what I've read I really did enjoy. I'm excited to give this a try and to finally watch the movie. I hope I enjoy this so I can continue on with the series. This book is almost 700 pages, but it doesn't look it whatsoever. So that's been intimidating. It's got those Bible thin pages. Yes, this, like all of these other books, are books I'm super interested in getting to as soon as possible. The next book I bought, and I have read it already, which would be House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City Book 1 by Sarah J. Maas. And I loved it so much that I bought House of Sky and Breath whenever it came out. I can't hold both of these up because they are both extremely heavy, so I'm just going to hold this one up for now. I read Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood a few months ago, right before the release of House of Sky and Breath, or right around it, because that hype was there. It had been one of the few Sarah J. Maas novels that I hadn't read yet, and I have loved everything I've read from her so far, so I wanted to give this a try, and oh my goodness did I love it. This could arguably be one of my favorite Sarah J. Maas novels I've ever read. It follows our main character Bryce in the city of Crescent City. It's a city full of all kinds of creatures. There's demons, there's angels, there's werewolves, there's any kind of magical creature, you name it, it's there. It's this really cool urban fantasy. It's not set in our world, but it's set in this urban world, and I found absolutely fascinating. Also being able to read from characters in a fantasy setting that are actually my age. I loved that so much. But this book follows Bryce, and at the beginning of the novel something happens that leads her to helping assist with this investigation, and that investigation also connects her with this Archangel Hunt Athalar, who's basically going to be her bodyguard, helping her out with the investigation. I don't want to explain too much because I feel like there's something in the plot summary that is very impactful if you don't know it going into the novel, but it's basically those two, Hunt and Bryce, working together to solve this mystery, diving deep into Crescent City itself, finding out all the mysteries. I loved it so much. I loved the characters so much. Sarah J. Maas really knows how to write some good characters, some intriguing plot. I honestly cannot wait to finally get to House of Sky and Breath. There's just so many books I want to read and I can't pick sometimes, but this is definitely up there on my priorities. I know people have said they don't enjoy this one as much as they loved House of Sky and Breath. They say it's too long, it could have been way shorter. I don't care, I'm still intrigued, even if it's just pages and pages of nothing but the characters hanging out. I love these characters so much. I'm a very character-driven reader, so I'm here for it. The next books I purchased were all books in a series that I had already owned some of the novels from, or novellas from, but I wanted the rest of them physically because I just love this series so much and they look great on my shelves. So the books I purchased were Beneath the Sugar Sky, Where the Drowned Girls Go, In an Absent Dream, and Down Among the Sticks and Bones. Those are not in the correct order whatsoever. That's just how I picked them up. But these four are by Shauna McGuire, and they are books 2, 3, 4, and 7, I think, in the Wayward Children series. And the Wayward Children series, if you don't know, is a magical portal fantasy series. It's one of my favorite series ever. Basically, in this world, these children wander through these doors that appear in the real world, and it's for them. It's where they find themselves, where they have a place that they belong. And the first book, Every Heart a Doorway, follows the main character Nancy as she starts at Miss Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children, which is a home for these kids who have wandered through their doors but then have come back into the real world for one reason or another, whether they're just coping with the real world or waiting for their door to show up. This is the place for them to cope with everything all together. It just explores so many different worlds. I love all of the portal worlds. I love all of the characters. I cannot get enough of this series, and I'm kind of sad that there's only one a year every year because I read Where the Drowned Girls Go back earlier this year and the next one doesn't come out until January of next year. These 4 books are some of my favorite books. In an Absent Dream and honestly Where the Drowned Girls Go are probably some of my favorites in the series. I can't really decide on such a whim as this. I would really have to think about it. But this book really dives deeper into the world, shows us more information, goes further than we've ever gone before. And this one explores one of the portal worlds that is so fascinating to me. I honestly can't give the series justice in describing it because it's so complex. Even though the books are so short, these worlds are so complex, and I just enjoy learning every little thing I can about each of these individual portal worlds and all of the characters, even if it's just the tiniest little snippet. So yes, I've already read all of these. I had read most of them when I purchased them, but I wanted them all on my shelves because they look so nice together. The next book I purchased is a sequel to a book that I have not read yet, but I know I'm going to read it and I know I'm going to love it, and that is The Mad Ship by Robin Hobb. This is the second book in the Live Ship Trader series, and I could not be more excited to start this series. I don't know why I haven't already done it. Well, I do know why. It's because there are so many amazing books on my shelves that I really want to read right now, and I can't read them all at the same time. So, what I know about the Live Ship Trader series is it's about these ships where when 3 generations of a family die on board, the ships come to life. That is all I know. That is all I could tell you. This is the trilogy following the Farseer trilogy and the Realm of the Elderlings, the Farseer trilogy following Fitz and all of that. I just am so excited to finally make some progress on the Realm of the Elderlings. I haven't been reading them as quickly as I wanted to, haven't been getting to them as often as I wanted to. I'm glad to have my hands on the Mad Ship so I can get to this one. I almost looked at the back and read the synopsis a minute ago, which would have been a tragic mistake seeing as I haven't read the first one yet, and the backs of these books really do spoil things that happen like over halfway into the book. And these are some chunky books, so over halfway into this would be like 400 pages into it. Super excited to get to this one. As with every other book, like I've said. The next 2 books I purchased are books in a series that I have been working on for a while, and I just wanted these books so I could read them whenever I get to them. And those are Queen of Shadows and Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I'm only missing Empire of Storms, I believe that's the title. I have it on Kindle, but I wanted a physical copy, and they didn't have that one when I ordered these 2, so these 2 just had to do for now. These books, massive. As the Throne of Glass series continues, these books just get bigger and bigger. Kingdom of Ash is like 1,000 pages, and I am here for it. I am so excited to read that. I just finished Air of Fire today, actually, and I want to start this one now, but I also don't. We'll see what happens. These are the 4th and 7th books in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. To give you the vaguest plot summary ever, Throne of Glass, the first book in the series, follows Selena Sardathian, who is known as Adelin's assassin. She is in this slave camp in Deauville when one day the prince comes and takes her back to the capital to compete as his champion in a contest to become the king's champion, or the king's assassin, basically. While she is residing in the castle, there is some evil lurking about, causing murders and mayhem, so she has to figure out what all of that is about, while also trying to win the competition because she wants her freedom, but she also wants to, live. That's a very basic summary, and at the point I'm at in the series, things have shifted so much, and I'm loving it. I'm so intrigued to read Queen of Shadows. The more I think about it, the more I want to pick it up, like today, but I don't know if I can do that. We'll see. I'm hoping I can get to Kingdom of Ash very soon as well, but again, these books are absolutely massive, and I know this one will take me a while. But yes, I got books 4 and 7 in the Throne of Glass series. One more left and I have finished it. Then I will have read almost all of Sarah J. Maas's work, just not the Catwoman book. All I need to read is Queen of Shadows through to Kingdom of Ash, and then House of Sky and Breath, and I'll be set on her releases. Exciting! The next book I got I'm so excited for. I don't know what the plot is, but it's one of those auto-buy authors, and that is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Emily Henry, after reading Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation, has become one of my absolute favorite authors. I haven't really read much of her YA stuff. Her contemporary romance, her adult romance, I'm here for it. Auto-buy. Especially if it has the word book in the title. I know it's about something bookish, so that's all I need to know. I cannot wait to get to this one. As soon as I'm in like a really romancy kind of mood, this is going to be the book that I read. There's not much more I can say about this one just because I don't exactly know the plot summary, but like I said, Emily Henry is an auto-buy author for me. I know I'm gonna love this. So excited to read it. Got it stacking up over here. You can almost see it in the corner. The next book I purchased is a book that I'm currently reading for a readathon, and that is The Mysterious Affair at Styles. This is the first book Agatha Christie ever published, I believe. It's the first book in the Hercule mysteries. I probably said that completely wrong. Forgive me. Part of this is inspired by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin's Agatha Christie hype train lately. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Him and Meg with Books, I think that's her channel name, both inspired me to pick up more Agatha Christie. I've wanted to for a while. The only book I've read by her is And Then There Were None, which I enjoyed. I wanted to give more of her books a try, and so what better way than to start with her first book ever, and the first book in the Hercule mysteries. I can't really say much about this right now because I just started it. I think someone is poisoned in this novel and he has to figure out who did it. You know, your classic mysteries. I love a mystery novel. I love a good mystery. So I'm here for this. Super excited to see who did it. And the last book I bought is my book of the month pick for this month for a book club I am hopefully participating in, and that is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmes. This book